Hey, it's your girl, Evelyn Lozada, with a new episode of Drop the Low with my beautiful co-host,
Shaniece, Hairston.
Yes, so today, I'm excited about today. We knew that today was going to be fun. So let me just give you some accolades, okay? Because I learned some things about this guest. She's a former WNBA player, first round pick, 12-year WNBA veteran, overseas MVP. I know that. Assistant coach for the Chicago Sky. And she is also a James Madison University All-American and CAA Player of the Year of 2008. We done did some research. We have Ty Young in the building.
What's up? I like that. You did some research, huh?
I did. You know what? Because I said Ty is more than, I think now you've tapped into reality TV, right? Yeah. So I feel like you're so much more than that. You know what I mean? And I know you're a go-getter. Clothing line, but you're always making it do what it do. But yeah, I was like looking this up. I said, Ty, you have accomplished some things.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And after being on reality TV, they kind of like push that to the side. You just get the things that you see from TV or the blogs.
Yeah.
And they try to discredit like who you really are.
Right.
So I appreciate
That's a good point. Yeah.
So that's why I thought it was important to talk about these things, because I know you're more than whatever's out there, and I think individually we all are, right? Because people tend to, I was just telling Shot, me and Ty had a funny conversation the other day because the show just aired. I'm not going to say what we discussed, but there was so much about us online the last couple of days. So it's just a part of the craziness that we do, you know? It's, how do you deal with that?
I think like being a professional athlete has helped me with the things that happen from reality TV. Because it's like, you got to have tough skin. People, behind these phones, computers, however, they could say whatever they want. And as humans, you kind of want to address it. Right. But, with basketball, it was almost the same. If I'm having a bad game or if I'm having an off night, fans are like, get her out of here. She sucks, trade her. And you got to kind of take that until the next game that you could kind of have a better game. And It's the same with this. It's like people watch the show or they see things on the internet and they're going to have their input and they're going to say what they feel. And you kind of have to like take it and have tough skin and be able to deal with that.
Right.
So would you say like your transition from being a pro athlete to being on reality TV was easier?
I won't say easy because, as humans, it's like some things do bother us. Yeah. Whether we try to put on a facade like we're just unbothered people, like we're human and we have feelings, and especially when things aren't true. But it has, helped me to not respond to everything and just kind of ignore the negativity.
Yeah. I think for me, I don't know. So a lot of the stuff that goes on just online, I'm like, who makes this stuff up? Sometimes we know the messenger, but other times you're just like, where do you get this shit from? Yeah. Or even, it was a lot of stuff with you, with Shaniece and Jay, that I was like, what the hell is going on? But you're right, you get conditioned to, I don't want to say like being abused per se, but it's like you get hazed all the time and you just get numb to the negativity, you know? But I think also we try to use it to our benefit too. You have businesses and we try to, we're going to do the show. We're going to promote this. We're going to do this. So you just got to find the good in whatever that is. I try.
And you do have people, that do support you and show you love. And for that, it's like, I received this and I'm grateful and thankful to the people that do support and see the real you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, what made you say yes to Basketball Wives? Season 12.
Right.
We don't
know. It was just one of those things where I have done reality TV before, and I do know the benefits of it when you do, have your own business. When they reached out, I was still coaching. And at the time, my manager was like, I don't know, this might not be a good look for you as a coach. And with my faith, I've always felt that what's meant for me is for me. And I just thought that, it will work for, my benefits, and, it wouldn't be put in front of me if it wasn't a time for me to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait,
Patrice.
so I have a question that I don't know.
Okay.
What was the other show?
Oh, I did Love and Hip Hop.
Okay.
So I did Love and Hip Hop 2018, 2017, 2018.
Got it.
Yeah, with my then ex. We were together almost 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And we were together for 2 years before I actually did the show.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you are a long term relationship.
I try. Like I'm a
sign.
relationship type of person. Like I love. You know, despite the narratives that people have painted for me. Like I just grew up around love. I was raised on love. You know, my siblings married. My parents, they are celebrating their 25th anniversary this weekend. You know, so that's just something I just come from, and I, you know, hope to be married one day too.
I was just about to ask that question.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that you're sitting next to me. This is going good. This is going good. I haven't been on a date in a long time. This is going really good. Okay.
Wait a minute.
You got to take it from here.
Were you surprised that you ended up on our first clip of Drop the Low? So we ended up getting in a conversation, but those squinty eyes have been the topic of conversation.
Yo, I was not expecting that. Right. Like I'm scrolling and I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, Evelyn. She was like, it's funny. I'm like, it really is, you know, because like, she's like, I wasn't expecting it. I'm like, well, me either.
Right.
But yeah.
I know a vibe when I see one.
I know a vibe when I see one.
And I just can't stop smiling and laughing.
Right.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's so funny. It's yeah, the squinty eyes have been, but even the women in the comments, like, girl, like so many women were like, I'm straight, but I will flip the other side for Ty. Like, do you find that funny?
I do, because it's a thing too. It's like, you know, I've seen people say like, oh, she just loves straight women. And I'm like, these women, you know, they like me. It's not like I'm just going out like, you know what? She's straight. Let me try to date her. Like, that's not, you know, how it is. But, you know, people speak on, I guess, like my personality and like my aura, but it's weird for me.
Wait, so you're kind of turning some of these ladies out then?
No, I'm not.
Well, if they're straight, they're kind of flipping the...
They're not straight if they like me.
They've turned over a new leaf.
Maybe
right?
something like started like tingling inside of them that they didn't know was there.
Energy is energy. Energy is energy.
I'm an energy person too. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And some of the women that you've dated are really like girls, like very feminine, pretty, know how to dress.
I love feminine, girly girls.
You do. Yeah. She has OCD, by the way. Shaniece has OCD.
You too?
Yeah, bad.
Me too.
Like when I picked my drink up and it was like wet, I'm like, damn, I need a napkin to like wipe that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same.
So yeah.
Shaniece is the same way.
I need things lined up.
Yeah,
Your
the drinks
closet.
and the waters in my refrigerator, they're all lined. The label's facing the front.
So you mentioned, I know you mentioned your family, and we talked about this off camera. I know your mother is your best friend, right? You're like,
well, she's not my best friend, but that's my girl.
That's my girl.
Yeah.
That's my girl. So share a little bit about your relationship, because I know that she comes to visit you when you're shooting. She is your best friend. I feel like she is your best friend.
Well, my mom always says, like, I'm not your friend, I'm your mom, right? Like, that's just how she raised me. And we do, you know, we talk about things. I don't get too personal with my mom. She is a first lady. My stepdad is a pastor. And, you know, she's always like, she don't condone my lifestyle, but she loves me and she'll always be there for me. And so, you know, as family and even as my mother, there's certain things I'm not going to discuss with her that I'm going through because I'll be over it. And, you know, your family, they still going to feel however they feel.
Right.
So things of that sort. But we are close and we do, you know, talk about a lot of things. And in that manner, it's like, that's my girl. Like,
was it hard coming out, right? Because you said your father's a pastor. So what is that like? Like, did you know? So when I talk to my friends, my males, so like, I won't say his name because we don't talk to him no more. But when I talk to like my gay friends, right, men, There was one in particular, and he said it was so hard for him. He's Haitian, and he said he basically felt like his family just like they didn't want to fuck with him, because of the fact that he is gay, and it's something that he struggled with for many years because they just wouldn't accept him. But it seems like your family's different. Like, was it hard for you? Because he says, I always knew as a kid.
Yeah. So it wasn't something that I always knew or I felt as a kid. Like, I dated guys. The first time I dated a woman was in college. And I never just came out and told my mother. When my girl at the time, when she came home with me to visit, it was until after that, my sister was coming home. My mother was like, well, your sister's going to have to sleep with you because we're having more company and, they got to use the other guest rooms. And I'm like, well, why she got to sleep with me? And so my mother's like, well, you didn't have a problem when your friend from school came and slept with you, And so it's like, well, that was my girl. So it's not something that we actually like discuss, right. But she just started to see like, okay, well, she's not dating guys anymore, but it was never a time where I just came out and was like, hey, I like women. It was just something that they kind of like seen as I transitioned.
What advice would you give to someone that is struggling to be themselves? Because, you got to really accept who you are. And I'm sure it's hard. Because I feel like even Jerry, we've talked about it. Jerry's, I remember him telling me he kind of struggled with it a little bit. Like, what advice would you give to someone that wants to come out, but they're afraid and they're just like, I don't know, I don't want to be judged or...
You're going to be judged regardless. Like, we're going to be judged for anything that we do in this world, and you have to be able to be yourself and be comfortable with who you are because the right people are going to love you regardless. Yeah. And I'm grateful that I do have a family that accepts me for who I am, whether they agree with the lifestyle or not, because you do need and want your family, but who you are and who you decide to date and love has nothing to do with that. That is something that they, have an issue with. That's something they're going to have to deal with, not you. Right. And I feel like you just have to be yourself. And the people that are supposed to be in your life and love you will love you for who you are. Yeah. You don't want people loving you, for being fake or something that you're not. Because then they don't truly love you.
Right. Right. That's good.
That was good. Ty, what is your zodiac sign? This is so...
Oh, God. Should I leave the room? Like, what? I feel like I'm a third wheel in this.
I feel like when they ask your zodiac sign and then I say my zodiac sign, it's like Scorpio.
No. Oh. I like Scorpio.
Okay.
Yeah. Stingers.
We do have a stinger. Yeah. We do.
And you got a mouth on you.
Yeah, I try to hold back.
Yeah.
But I can get a little
crazy.
A little spicy.
Spicy.
Yeah.
I didn't really see the spicy in.
Oh, I see it.
You know what? I kind of did actually. Now that I'm going back, I'm thinking about Basketball Wives.
You saw it?
I see it now.
You see it?
Yeah.
Damn.
I feel like you're calm. I feel like somebody has to really get you there. Like you're not one of those people that you're just like ready to argue every 5 minutes. Like I think you have to really get pushed there, but I don't know. I was never in a relationship with you. Ming may have a different version.
Oh yeah, you ask her, she's definitely gonna say I'm crazy and I have a mouth. But I'm a slow burn. Yeah. Like I could hold things in and I'm calm until you like push me. And it is different when I'm in a relationship because there's a different type of love. There's a different type of passion. So yeah, you could bring that out of me, especially if I feel like I'm being played with or like challenged, like, yeah, it would come out. But as far as like my friends and stuff, like it don't really come out because they don't get to that level, of me.
Yeah, you're a girl's girl. Like, Ty is the type, you could talk on the phone with her, just chilling. Yeah. Like, we've had many conversations, especially during shooting, where, we would talk to each other. Sometimes you got to talk to each other through the process.
No, for sure.
Of what we're dealing with. I feel like you got something to say.
I'm about to say, what y'all laughing at?
I'm going to leave it.
I'm going to leave it.
Oh, okay. So, back to mom and daughter. Mm-hmm. So, we have a thing where we're like, I guess fire and ice or fire and air. You and your mom would be what?
Me and my mom are a lot alike.
Is she a Scorpio too?
No, she's a Cancer.
Well, that makes sense because it's both water signs. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so we have way more in common that we didn't realize until I got older. And it's like she see me do things, she's like, oh my God, my child is just like me. Like even with my mouth, like when I get like spicy, she's like, you got a smart mouth, but I can't say nothing because I know you get it from me. You know, like, so yeah, our water signs, we are a lot alike.
Yeah.
On the court and in control, let's see. Stepping into coaching, your biggest rewards and the most challenging times.
My biggest reward was being able to give the knowledge and the experience that I had from being a player and not being far removed from being a player and just having that connection with the girls where I understand them and I could relate with them. And the biggest challenge was coming out of my comfort zone, you know, with doing the scouting reports and having to, you know, speak in front of everyone and give that to them. Like, people don't know, but I'm really like an introvert, shy, you know, but having to speak in front of the whole team and the other coaches, giving a report, that took me out of my comfort zone. And initially it was challenging, but I got better and more comfortable with time doing it.
Yeah. Do you want to coach again?
I do. I love coaching. It became a passion for me. Just, you know, seeing the girls live out their dreams, but also being able to be a part of it and teach them the things that I've learned, not just on the court, but off the court too, with like building a brand, you know, and that's just something that's major now. And a lot of girls are getting more partnerships and becoming business women that I wasn't taught that when I played.
Right.
So I feel like having that experience and that knowledge, I could, you know, relate and help them.
Yeah. How did you balance like the show with everything that you have going on? Because when you come to shoot the show, you pretty much have to just shoot the show.
Right.
So, but I know, you know, you have your line and there were things that you were, you know, you were still handling. Like, was it a lot? And so that's a two-part question. There's that. And then what do you feel is the difference with shooting Basketball Wives versus Love and Hip Hop?
Okay. So shooting the show was a lot, especially with being an entrepreneur and having my clothing line and handling all of that on my own.
Right.
You know, my mom used to help me with that, but as she got older, it became, you know, tougher for her. So sometimes things were getting delayed because, you know, I'm working, but I'm also trying to ship orders out, you know, speak to the people for wholesales overseas. Like sometimes you're not getting sleep and people don't understand, you know, what it is trying to run a business, you know, by yourself for the most part. And then what was the other question?
What was the difference between shooting Basketball Wives and Love and Hip Hop?
So Love and Hip Hop, I wasn't a main cast member. I made guest appearances with my ex. So I really didn't have much of a story or had much that I had to say. So I kind of could play like the back role, where this one is being a main cast and that I was in a relationship.
Right.
This, I'm going through a real life breakup, you know, in real life and like we're filming. So that was difficult on its own, but I was glad that, you know, I'm able to tell my story and like be myself. And the filming here was good. It's like 2-3 hours way out of there. Right. It was way longer with Love and Hip Hop.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure I've had seasons where I was dealing with my personal life or it was like a storyline and I'm going, actually, I think the season before that, I was going through a breakup and it was, I'm like, I don't want to shoot with this person.
Yeah. I don't want to see this person today.
Like, she's laughing because she knows it's true. So, you know, but when you sign on to do the show and you're doing the show, this is your life. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we can't just be like, no, we could say no, but you also want to be authentic and real as to what's going on because why would you be doing reality TV? Like the show wants to know about your personal, you know, life, your story, your relationships, all those things. But I know that was definitely difficult for you, you know? Yeah. We would film with Ming and I would be like, you know what? That kind of makes sense what you're saying. Then I would shoot with Ty and I'd be like, Ty, you got a fucking point. So I was like so conflicted the whole time because it's like she has valid points and then I would then shoot with Ming or whatever was going on. We would be on a Cavs trip and then we hear the other side and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I would be like, I like both of them, So, but it's difficult. It's
No, for
difficult.
sure.
And then we're all in your business.
Yeah. And oof. And you're feeling it, because it was times where we wasn't even speaking.
Yes.
But then you got to go film, you got to go to work, everybody's asking questions. You're like, I don't want to talk about this
right.
shit, but you have to because this is your reality.
Yes.
And it's funny because you think of reality TV and some people do, have made up situations, but I'm like, I'm not coming on TV with a made up situation. Like, this is my girl and this is what we're going through.
Yeah.
And at times when you are fighting and you're upset, it kind of like shows.
Yeah.
And then later you make up. You're like, damn, I wish that wouldn't have happened. Or I wish I wouldn't have said that when I was upset, But you're dealing with these emotions while you're shooting.
Yeah.
And that's tough.
It's tough. And then you got to watch it.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're reliving it.
So then you're reliving it. And then you're going to do the reunion and you're going to relive it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like.
I can't get away from it.
So people are going to be mad all year.
All year.
How long were you and Ming together for?
Like almost 9 months.
Got it. So,
Yeah.
next question.
And so we were together for like 4 or 5 months before we even, put it out publicly. So.
Do you think the public knowing about you guys' relationship tainted it a little bit?
I won't say it ruined it. I feel like we handle things how we handle it. But publicly, people give their opinions more. And I feel like even if it is something that you could have worked out, together, it makes it tougher when you got the public in it giving their opinions because now you may be listening to other people and that do kind of conflicted. It makes it tougher. But I would never blame, the public on a relationship working or not working because I feel like that takes two people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So,
So like, no.
So like, are you single now or what's
I'm
happening?
single.
Me too. Oh God. Very. Do you like kids? Do you like I have a son. Yo. Seriously, he's downstairs. Did you hear him? Did you hear that baby cry? Did you hear the
Actually,
baby
your
cry?
son is so cute.
Thank
I tell
you.
Evelyn every time she like show pictures or
Thank
whatever.
you.
But I do love kids.
I'm glad you think so.
I do love kids. Obviously, my ex has a daughter, and I want kids.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
I do love kids.
And then your
He's
ex before that, like,
Had a
had a
daughter.
kid. So
Yeah.
she's fine. She's fine with
Good
I'm
to
good
know.
with kids.
be blazing stepmom. What the hell? What the hell?
What the hell?
Plot twist.
Listen,
I love a plot twist.
my whole life has been a plot twist.
Hold on, wait.
Yeah.
What's your sign?
Gemini. Okay, now you're doing to me what you thought I was gonna do to you
did
when you
do that
told
to
me
me.
yours. I didn't. I said, oh, I love Scorpios.
Nah, Gemini's are cool. One Gemini tried to run me over with a car.
Yeah. No, I've never tried to do that.
What? You know what?
Well, what did you do?
Nothing.
You did nothing. And she was like, I'm gonna run you over.
Well, she was mad, but the crazy thing is she broke up with me, and that's what I don't understand. Like, how women dump me and then be mad. It's
Okay.
like,
Why did she break up with you?
I feel like this is getting off topic.
And we talked about it. She can't even say though because of the
Oh, okay.
show.
Oh, okay.
You
Got
can't.
It. Yeah.
No, this is something. This
Oh,
is old.
Yeah,
this is old.
we
This
don't
is-
bury that.
yeah.
We don't bury that.
That's like
fucking
15 years
skeleton.
old. Yeah.
We buried that skeleton.
Hopefully she's not
Yeah.
running anyone over.
Oh, so what is non-negotiable in a relationship?
Oh, that's a good
Like,
question.
what is something that you're like, that is not what I'm not into it, or I don't like. It's like just something that, is non-negotiable about the person.
Damn, that's a good question.
Somebody dirty.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Cleanliness.
Like, I'm way too clean to be with somebody dirty. Like, smells, no. Dirty, no.
So if she has a Krispy Kreme coochie, you're not into it.
Oh.
You know I love Krispy Kreme, Evelyn.
I do.
That's disgusting.
I'm just asking.
have
I'm
to do
trying.
that
You know,
right
there's a lot of little freaky shit going on
Oh, my
online
God.
lately. I'm
So
like,
yeah, those are non-negotiables. And even like, you know, the thing, I date straight women. I don't want to be with the woman that's still dealing with guys. Like that's no, you know, like I can't trust that. And so that's a non-negotiable for me, you know, and people have lied about that, you know, so that's definitely a non-negotiable for me.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I like to keep my pH balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all do. Having it
Yeah, that
balanced
makes
is
sense.
great. Huh?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. Oh my God.
Y'all funny.
Let's see.
This is good.
This is good. It's easy.
Yeah.
No, but I get it. Like if I were dating a guy and he's like, I don't sleep with guys, and then you go sleep with men,
Yeah.
that would be frustrating.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And
So
that
I totally
happens.
get it.
Yeah.
No. Non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable.
So we're gonna talk basketball wives a little bit.
Okay.
So before I ask you any questions, we want to play a fun game with you.
Let's do it.
So the game is called Marry, Kill, or Smash.
I was close.
You was close.
Okay.
Marry, kill, or
Smash. Damn. We're gonna give you 3 cast members from Basketball Wives, and you gotta stick to what you really feel.
I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, good.
damn,
so
really?
This is Marry, Kill, or Smash, and Shaw's gonna give you the 3 cast members. I don't know who she's gonna pick, so she can pick.
Marry, kill, or smash for my cast members is crazy.
Okay, you ready?
No.
Okay, so first one's Jackie. Second one is Evelyn. Third one is Brittany. Remember Brittany?
Yeah.
Those are my 3.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Married, smash, kill. Damn.
See, at least I didn't say kill. I said pass.
Yeah,
I gave
pass.
it.
Damn, kill.
I gave it up.
One gotta go.
I gave it.
All right.
One gotta go.
I love Jackie, but she gotta go. I'm gonna smash Brittany and I'm gonna marry Evelyn.
Ooh, I knew it.
Yay, she's a marrying type, y'all.
My wife.
You know, people done threw slugs at me for not being a wife. It's by choice.
She's a runaway bride.
I am. I will run, and I will keep running far.
I call her Elizabeth Taylor.
Damn.
She's had a few rings.
You know, I will say getting a ring is, I feel like sometimes women are so like, I want the ring. Getting the ring for me was never the problem.
Yeah.
I get the ring.
Get the ring.
It's just making it to that finish line for me, you know.
Yeah.
It's just at the first sign of just, I mean, it could have been infidelity or I'm just like, this is not going to work. So I've always chosen myself, and I'm happy about that.
That's
you know, Shaniece says I like being by myself. That's what she
She
said.
likes being alone.
Damn.
She don't
my
want no
God.
one to dictate her day, her morning. You're like in your own flow.
I am.
Yeah. It's the thing. It's like as you get older, you really don't want nobody telling you what to do.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
38? I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I thought you were much younger. Actually, that's
I
a
get
good
that
thing.
a lot.
Yeah, that's
She
good.
got a baby face.
Yeah.
I drink water and mind my business.
And you work out.
I work out.
She works out hard. Have you ever seen her workout
No,
videos?
I have to.
Yeah, she be, oh God.
I really like athleticism.
Yeah, I like to stay, in shape.
Oh God. I think that's it.
We end with that marry, smash, kill, huh?
Listen, we're gonna end with that. We're gonna end with that. I didn't want to ask you too many questions about Basketball Wives because it's like I feel like everyone's asking those questions.
Yeah.
I'm like, Ty is a woman of many things.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Basketball Wives is cool, but you've accomplished a lot. So you
I
should be proud of
appreciate it.
yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what next? What's something that's on your like, I really want to accomplish this, like you've accomplished so much at 38, like what is something that you got your eye on that you really, really want to do?
Well, I do want to finish doing my book. I've been talking about that since COVID, and then I started and stopped. And so I really want to finish that. And I really want a family. You know, like, I want a family. And I feel like that would be a major accomplishment for me. It's like you have your dreams, you have your goals, and you accomplish them. But I feel like that would be like the masterpiece.
Yeah. Yeah. You want a family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to get it.
Yeah, I feel like I am. You know, sometimes you hold on to things maybe a little longer than you should. But the right divine timing, I feel like with my life, even, what you asked me about basketball wise, I feel like things happen as they supposed to.
Right. Right.
So,
well, we want that for you.
Thank you.
Shaniece does too.
You do.
Shaniece does too.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Who knows? You may be a part of my family. It may be, there may be more to basketball wives.
Shaniece might be a basketball wife, huh?
Oh, God, I might be.
Listen, Shaniece is a good person.
Oh, now she's selling me.
No, you are a good person. Okay. I tell everybody that, whenever whenever anyone is being said about her, I'm her mom, so it's like I'm super protective. But if you knew her to the core of her being, like her spirit, her soul, Shaniece doesn't say nothing bad about anybody. Yeah. Like she's just not that person, I'll drag somebody,
Yeah.
And but I also have a good heart, but if you piss me off, then I'm there. But she's just you're different. You're a good person, and I'm proud as your mom to be your mom.
Thank you.
I love that.
Yeah. That's my bestie.
That's my bestie.
That's my bestie. Well, listen. Another episode of Drop the Low with Ty. Thank you for coming to support us.
For sure.
Thank you,
Thanks
Ty.
for having me.
Yes, Squinty Eyes is in the building.
I had to bring the squinty eyes in person.
And she smell good, y'all. What do you
do
have
smell
on?
good.
You know what? You shiesty with the scents. You never want to tell.
And people be asking me all the time. I'm like, oh, just a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah. You mix scents, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do.
I got on 2 different scents today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. At least I know the mix is working because I just start spraying. I don't even know how it's going to come out.
Right.
So if I stink, you just got to let me know.
The mix is always working.
That mix didn't work.
It's working, Ty. Whatever you got going on is working.
Thank you.
All right.
Keep it going.
I'm about to leave. Well, these two.
No, this was fun.
This was fun. Thank you for watching Drop the Low.
Thank you, Ty.